Hey, it's Justin Popovich here with another PLR Q&A session. Questions and answers about PLR or just online business in general. This one is about PLR and you can read it along with me. Could you please describe the best approach to repurpose PLR for those who may have purchased the rights to PLR products but not sure of how to really get started? So this is a good one and I bet it's on a lot of people's minds. So I want to talk about the whole concept of repurposing from two different perspectives, and here they are. The first is the traditional sort of description or definition of repurposing, which is taking a piece of content and altering it from one form to another. I was reading my slide there, getting confused. So that means, that could be anything from taking an article, recording it in your voice, and turning that into an MP3. That's repurposing. Or backwards, taking a recording, having it transcribed into text. That's repurposing. Same thing applies to go from text to video, video to text, audio to video, back and forth, and so on. Plus, then you can start getting a little bit creative. So as an example, taking an article, turning that article into maybe breaking each sentence or each key point in the article into a slide that then becomes part of a training presentation, or a slide that becomes part of a video. Or in some cases, what we do is we take either tips or quotes from an ebook or a product or a report and turn those tips or quotes into graphics that we sell to our customers. And it still communicates the same information, but it's distributed differently. It's repurposing it from basic text that would be transferred to a customer in a Word doc, let's say, or a PDF, and now transferring it to them in a picture format, like a JPEG or a PNG or even a PSD, which is a Photoshop file that can then be edited. There is different value for the person using that file. The person getting the quote or the tip in text format will use it in one way, whereas the person getting that same piece of information, the content's the same, but the packaging and the formatting of it is different when you repurpose it into a graphical image, or when you repurpose it into a video, let's say, of 3 or 4 of those tips or quotes strung together into a video. You can imagine the audience who watches that piece of content may change, because some people definitely like to read more than they like to watch videos. I personally like audio and video when I consume content better than reading, but I know people that last thing you want to do is watch video. So being able to switch from one form to another at a high level, that's traditionally what repurposing means. And I'm going to suggest that you get in the habit of repurposing all of the PLR just as is. So for example, take a PLR article, and you don't even have to rewrite any of it. Just simply get in the habit of repurposing that from, let's say, article format into slide format, in case you might use that in the future. Even just the practice of doing that repurposing step is a good habit to get into, and it'll teach you to kind of learn all these different forms of content creation. Kind of on a quick side note to that, one of the first things I did, I do most of my content creation, most of the stuff that I publish on a MacBook using the Macintosh OS. So for me, I find the tools on the Mac are just better for my type of business. You may disagree, that's fine. But one day early on when I first got my Mac, I probably sat down for, I'm going to say, at least 2 business days, maybe longer, and really mastered the application that I'm showing you on my screen right now, Keynote, which is on the PC, it'd be like a lot like using PowerPoint. It's a slideshow type of application. And you can do a lot of cool stuff with Keynote as you learn the intricate details of it, as you learn the advanced features. So you can create really interesting animations and slideshows, and you can create something that's a little less boring. If I were, like right now, this is a pretty boring format of a slide, but with a little bit of effort, I could turn this into something pretty powerful and visually stunning, quote unquote, because I learned how to package up content into this type of format, to a Keynote presentation. And just learning that one little skill has allowed me to take something basic like an article, repurpose it into nice presentations that have made me a lot of money. So that was a useful skill to get into the habit to. Repurposing in general will force you to learn these type of skills. So that's sort of a high level on the whole notion of repurposing. But now I wanted to get into the heart of the question, because if I go back to the slide here, the person asking this question said, can you please describe the best approach to repurpose PLR for those who have the products? And I think what you're really asking there, or the underlying question is, how do I take your PLR and change it up so that it becomes unique to me and to my products or services or trainings that I create? And that's what I wanted to do, is kind of talk about point number 2, is turning PLR into something unique. And in order to do that, I'm actually going to flip over to my live screen here. I'm going to give you a couple little demos. I've actually done some demos of this in the past. I'm going to revisit one example that you may have seen me show before, and I'll also show you a new example as well. So let me do that now, and we'll see a nice little edit here, but let's go into a couple of actual examples of turning a single piece of PLR into something totally unique.
Okay, we've switched over to my desktop now. Some good news and bad news. The bad news is I'm no longer on camera, so I do apologize for that. The good news is I'm wearing my headset, and it probably sounds a lot better. So what I want to do is show you a PLR article pack here. Now these ones that you see on my screen right now, these are actually a 10-pack of articles that was in a recent product we released called the Personal Development Niche Kickoff Program. And the actual PLR product had articles with web publishable rights, meaning we could take these articles and post them anywhere we want. There's no restriction on that. If we own a PLR license, we can publish it. Facebook, WordPress, blogs, whatever. So what I did was I went and found 3 articles that were semi-related. So I've opened them up in Word here. You can see one's called Reduce Stress by Using the Power of Positive Thinking, 7 Ways to Think Positive and Change Your Life, and Improve Your Life by Changing Your Thinking. So kind of all talk about similar topics with different spin on it. The reader would get something a little bit different each time they read this. What I want to show you from a repurposing perspective, because I believe this example kind of gets to the heart of the question that's being asked. These articles are great, but we need to be able to spin this in a way that helps us brand ourselves. So in this example, this is probably somebody in the self-development niche. So I would maybe take these articles and create a free report that I want to distribute on, let's say, DocStock or Scribed, or put it on a slide sharing website, or even publish it on my blog as a downloadable PDF, and make it viral and shareable to all of my clients maybe. Who knows? So I'd want to put it in a little bit of a nicer layout. So here is, now those where I showed you were in Microsoft Word. Here's Pages, which is a word processor on the Mac, and it has some pretty cool templates. Now I know Word has templates as well, so if you don't have Mac, you're fine. Just use some of the templates that come with Word, assuming you have Word. So let's pick one here. I really like this extreme newsletter theme, and I'll warn you right now, this is not going to be the final version of that I use. This is more, I'm just going to show you sort of a few steps as to how I would get started. But look at this nice layout, right? We're going to take some articles that look, I mean, they're good, but they look plain, right? They're just in text format. And let's take bits and pieces from these articles and turn it into a nice new report that's totally unique to me and my brand. So I might want to call this report Positivity. And I'm going to have to reduce the font size. So these are some of the things you just unfortunately have to bear with me. I might edit out some of those delays here. So we call it Positivity, and maybe we'll put I'm filming this in May of 2014. And I might just say free report. How positive thinking can change your life for the better. I'd probably work on my wording, but you get the idea. And then I can use these images if I want. The cool thing with Pages is I can drag and drop my own images in here as well. So I might grab a quote. Let's try that just for fun here. So you can really improve your life by changing the way you think. If you perceive that your life is in a ditch and you think it's because of all the negativity, it probably is. There are many ways that you can work to change your thinking process and concentrate on the positive things in life. So let's grab, that's kind of insightful, but let's grab this thing here. You can improve your life by changing the way you think. Copy and paste. Paste it into that little thing there. And again, I'm not worrying about the formatting here. I probably do a much better job when you don't watch me. All the pressure is on with you watching me right now, and I'm trying to save some time as well. But what I might do here is look at these articles, right? These articles, I picked them on purpose because they actually have bullet points of some tips. So one article says, here are some tips to improve your thinking process. This one is, look at the following ways you can incorporate positive thinking into your own lifestyle. And then this one says, some of the benefits of positive thinking include. So those are 3 different things that I could turn into 3 parts of this report. So maybe we start with the benefits of positive thinking right here. Which one is it? Yeah, some of the benefits are right here. So I might say benefits Oops. Again, you'll have to bear with me. Benefits of positive thinking. And let's leave that lorem ipsum text for now, and I'll just grab some of these points, right? So there's 5 in total. So you grab all 5, but that makes the first section of my free report here. Now, again, I might rewrite bits and pieces of this, or you can use the PLR as is, and I'll have to reduce the size. Again, the formatting would probably change. You get the idea. I don't think I'm going to go much further with this, because what I've shown you so far is exactly what I would recommend anybody do if you want to take PLR that you own and repurpose it, quote unquote, into something that's totally unique to you. Now, of course, I would probably brand this document. See, there's a footer here. Instead of, maybe I'd remove the page numbers and I'd put a link to my website. So for me, I have a personal development blog at igniteyouressence.com. That turns into a branded PDF now. This can, as I share this, if people like it, they may click to learn more about me. I might add a page at the end, so you can see the template here. There's a back page, and I might put a little bio about me. This report has been brought to you by Justin, and I'll put a little title of myself and maybe have some information about websites or upcoming product releases. Maybe I'm speaking somewhere. This could turn into a little showcasing of my skills and the products and services that I offer, but that may be on page 5 or 6. The first 4 or 5 pages are things like this, benefits of positive thinking. And then we move on to the next one is how you can incorporate positive thinking into your life. Here are 7 tips. So with just a little bit of effort, if you weren't watching me right now, I could probably take those 3 articles, repurpose them into this nice document that you're looking at right now, export it as a PDF, and upload it to my blog, and I could probably do that in about half an hour because I have the templates and I have the PLR. And I'm starting with PLR that I've already read through it, and it's giving good tips. There's not much else I really need to add to it. If I really wanted to go above and beyond, I may also record this report into a video or an audio that I include as a special bonus. And maybe I ask people to opt into my list to get that along with some other bonus audio or something like that. But I think just showing you this gives you an example of how I would look at repurposing, and hopefully that just kind of clears up some of the clutter, because when you think about it, you probably have a lot of these type of articles sitting on your hard drive, not sure what to do with it next. Just following my little example here could take it a long way for you, but of course you could apply this to other forms of content as well. I've already talked about creating audios and videos and slideware presentation and combinations thereof. A lot of my best PDFs are PDFs where I instruct people to do step A, B, C, and D, and step D might be click here to watch a YouTube video that I've created. So we merge content and we go back and forth, and we give the end user or the viewer a really good experience as they go through that content. Now for the final example, I was going to show you a demo, but I realized it really is going to be totally redundant, and in the spirit of doing proper repurposing, I'm just going to point you to this blog post. So I'm going to give you a link below the video that you see here. This blog post, I've actually talked about customizing PLR to build a video training program, and I literally show you how I take this this PLR book that I bought, and I take a piece of that book and turn it into a lesson in one of my product creation training programs. So it's quite interesting. There's an actual video where I explain it in a little bit more depth, but this will give you sort of a second example of repurposing PLR you own into something new and unique that you can sell as your own product. So I hope this has really helped you in terms of what to do with some of the PLR that's sitting around. There may not be as much work as you thought. It's more of putting into a context of something you want to do within your existing business. Turn that PLR into promotional material that can help sell your coaching or your products or your services, or turn it into products that you can sell on the front end or even the back end of one of your sales funnels. Hope this helps. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks for watching.